Lately, it's been a little quiet on my YouTube channel. No passion projects, a shit ton of client work, and a calendar full of deadlines with no time for myself. My biggest dream, being a travel filmmaker, slowly started to feel like a nightmare. I was finally making money with the thing that brought me the most joy, but I wasn't creating what I was passionate about. I was just running to paycheck after paycheck, bringing other people's visions to life and not mine. And when I finally had some time, I was just too exhausted. I couldn't come up with any ideas, and when I did, I was lacking motivation. So, I quit. I got rid of most of my clients, and instead of chasing money, I started to chase my freedom. I finally had some time to think, and that's when I remembered why I even started. It was never about the money or having that one insane client. It was always about filming crazy adventures with my friends, traveling the world and experiencing life, doing what made me feel most alive. And that's when my friend Khiaw and I started to talk about a motorbike trip through Laos. A trip that brought back the spark and the motivation I needed to kick off 2026. Hi, I'm Phillip, an adventure and travel filmmaker where I take you to insane adventures around the world, do stupid things with my friends, and hopefully motivate you to do the same thing with your life. Welcome to my channel, and this is also why you should do a motorbike trip in Laos.
Hey man,
That was tough. It's a fucking adventure, guys.
if anything this trip taught me, I'm a good driver. Just sometimes I'm not.
So, you're probably wondering why Laos. To explain that, I have to talk about the Ha Giang Loop in Vietnam. It's amazing, in fact breathtaking, but it's kind of already set up for you. The road is done and you just follow it. We wanted something different. We wanted to actually get lost. That's why we chose Laos. Here, the map is more of a loose suggestion. The roads sort of end. No one speaks English and you're just out there, figuring things out on the spot. The trip wasn't about ticking off viewpoints. It was about the raw adventure. The challenge of getting from A to B when B isn't even a proper sign. It was hard, it was confusing, and it was the most real adventure we could find. And the best way to do that was with two motorbikes and a good friend. And that's when Khiaw comes into play. He is also a fellow filmmaker, adventurist and YouTuber. This man has been doing the craziest things lately and was definitely the right person to call for an adventure like this. So, our initial plan was to meet up in Luang Prabang. You can call it the hub of Laos if you want to get something. We wanted to figure things out on the spot, as we didn't want to plan too much. With that in mind, we just had to do one last thing before we heading out, getting the bikes. For that, we literally just hopped on Google Maps, drove to rental places, tested out some questionable bikes, and then we found this guy, Harry. This man is an absolute legend who has been living in Laos for over a decade now. Not only did he give us bikes, tools and some gear, he also gave us a perfect route passing through mountains at 100% off-road. Exactly what we were looking for. Alright, so we're in Luang Prabang right now. We kind of like packed up everything. We are absolutely underprepared, 100%. It's already kind of cold and it's just gonna get colder day by day. But I guess we figure things out on the go. And yeah, boys' bike trip is about to start. This was our first proper riding day in a foreign country, so we still had to get used to a lot of things. For example, our bikes, or how does the local traffic behave, when to overtake, how fast we can go, and so much more. So we obviously took it slow that day, but what we did notice was the fast changing terrain. Starting from a proper, well-maintained road to slowly noticing huge potholes which would get so much worse and more dangerous later in the trip. We noticed the free roaming animals and obviously noticed the beautiful landscapes we were able to drive through. But we also noticed that our straps didn't hold as good as we thought they would.
10 minutes in, what happened?
Already broke the bungee. First 10 minutes. Because of a few potholes we saw along the way.
Just a few.
Just a few potholes.
So we reached the point where this isn't just like a normal bike trip on the road. We're going off-road. Definitely, I hope these bags hold up.
And this is also supposed to be one of the easy parts. So I think one thing that has to be like shared is that we don't have like 450, so we can't just like clutch up a few like rocks and shit. We actually have to like throttle it because we got 250s.
You're gonna have to give it a little bit for sure.
A little bit of throttle, but yeah.
I mean,
tied up.
If that scooter can make it, then I think we're good.
Oh yeah,
we're chilling.
We're tripping for no reason, bro. So we finally started our first off-road section, and I have to be honest, it was difficult. We had 50-50 tires on, which meant sliding was still a thing. The downhills were steep and slippery, the road kept going in different directions, and we had no signal to figure out where to go. The only thing we had was an app recommended by Harry to use an offline navigation system, and obviously the help of some locals, even though we didn't understand each other.
Thank you.
It doesn't translate well on camera, but these paths were super technical and shouldn't be underestimated. We just had to keep it slow, steady, and stay focused. The goal was to make distance and not to make it fast. And while I'm talking about distance, we massively miscalculated our gas situation and didn't know how to fill up in the middle of nowhere. We were kind of stressing for a bit until we found this small village, literally in the middle of nowhere, but it definitely saved our asses.
We just stopped at a random village in the middle of literally nowhere because we're running out of gas.
It's been tough out here, man.
It's been a very interesting first day, let's say the least. Also, the gas looks like Kool-Aid.
I'm so thirsty, bro.
I'm so thirsty. We need to get water, bro. We haven't ate since breakfast, and it's like, what time is it?
2:30.
Oh, it's not that bad. We started pretty early.
With the bikes filled up, I was finally a bit more relieved. The road also started to look a lot better, which meant that we could make it faster out of the jungle. But what we didn't know at that time is that this was also our last proper off-road section of the entire trip. Alright, we just got out of the fucking bushes and off-road, first off-road section. Not gonna lie, it's pretty gnarly. It's so like tight and everything. It's so technical, super exhausting.
Bro.
And somebody dropped a few times.
If I'm being honest, bro, if we're gonna continue this, you gotta stop falling off your bike, alright?
Shut up, bro. I got like so many clips of you.
Cut to me.
Are you okay, bro?
We're blessed. I mean,
We're blessed.
With the amount of falls and nothing's broken. Wow.
A few things are broken, so update.
No.
Bungees broken already, both of them actually. Fucking ripped them. Went a little bit too tight, I guess.
Also, did we mention that we're missing 2 tripods?
How did we lose both tripods? That's the crazy part.
And we didn't see it happen either, which is the crazy part.
Just gone at one point. But it was pretty gnarly.
That was some of the most techie riding I've done.
Very techie. My hands are hurting from like clutching and braking all the time.
My hands are hurting from just like, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall.
Either way, now we're back on the main road. We're heading to the next town or whatever. What's it called? Nong Khiaw?
Nong Khiaw.
Nong Khiaw.
It was close.
Nong Khiaw.
It was close.
Yeah. Anyhow, back on the road. After a long, exhausting day, we finally made it to our first destination, and it was beautiful. I honestly couldn't believe that was the place waiting for us. The sunset was perfect, the mountains looked absolutely gorgeous, the river going through the town was so beautiful, and I got extremely excited about the next few days. That was until the next morning, when we realized this morning that we kind of like fucked up. Because we drove up north, because we were like, okay, it's gonna be so much cooler up north, because there's obviously gonna be so many more mountains and everything. And then after a quick Google search this morning, we realized that everything we kind of want to see is down south. So I'm not a big fan of backtracking, but we have to backtrack a little bit. And the best part is, to make up what we lost, we have to make a 10-hour journey today. A 10-hour journey. Yeah, I'm not really hyped for that. I have to explain that a bit better. Our initial plan was to go to Phongsaly, which is all the way up north, as Harry recommended the route for us to experience the best and most challenging riding. But in the first night in Nong Khiaw, we realized that the most scenic spots might actually be down south. We could risk going up north, but with nearly no information about those places, still missing a lot of footage which we needed, and considering that we only planned 7 days for this trip, we had to make a tough decision, and that was to drive over 10 hours down south, circle back to Luang Prabang, and sacrifice any other off-road day we planned on this trip. This day was one of the toughest days on the entire trip, as we mistakenly thought that following Google Maps might give us better maintained roads. But if you know Laos, then you probably know that we couldn't be more wrong. It was brutal. We were close to non-civilization for over 6 hours. The roads felt like we were back doing off-road. It was cold.
Laos is cold, bro.
Straps broke, the bikes were acting up due to the tough conditions, and so much more. Nonetheless, we still had some incredible sights, good food, and a bit of fun on the road. Sure, it was challenging, but it was exactly what we were looking for. And it was all worth it because we eventually got to a very special place Khiaw was looking forward to since the start of the trip. Oh, we made it to the CIA base. Fuck yeah. It's literally standing on the runway right now. Look at that. That's such a sick frame.
Fly the drone now.
Yes, you heard me right, we just made it to Long Tieng, aka the ex-CIA base of Laos. This place was used back in the Vietnam War as a logistics hub, command center and launch point for air operations. At its peak, this place was arguably one of the busiest airports in the world and yet did not appear on any public maps or documents. Khiaw was super excited to explore a place like this, so you can definitely learn more about it on his YouTube channel. But something that me really surprised was the fact that a location with such a dark history now became a huge playground for the local kids. No hate, no crime, just smiling faces and a lot of fun. Oh, wow. So, 2 boys at the runway. What are we gonna do now?
Drag race.
So, with one of our trip highlights out of the way, the only thing left for us was to make it to Van Vieng and end the trip there. But what was supposed to be just the last stretch of our journey turned into the most difficult situation we had to deal with so far. A situation that was about to ruin our entire trip. And it all started with making it to this gate. As Van Vieng?
Van Vieng. ไปบางเวียง โอ้ บางเวียงไปเทิง อันนี้
Oh my god.
No.
For Savan
พูดสะบัน
and then
เสียง
Van
พ่วง
Vieng.
พูดสะบันทางนั้นหมืด
Alright, we ran into a little problem. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere and kind of just trusting Google Maps. And there's this big fence that we couldn't get past, and he said, go the other way. But we're looking on Google Maps and there is no other way, so.
All the way back to the CIA base right now. The next biggest city, which is literally the entire track what we just did. Or in other words, we were fucked. We couldn't pass through literally the only road connecting us from where we were to Van Vieng. The only option he or Google Maps gave us was to track back all the way to Nong Khiaw. That would have taken us an extra 2 to 3 days, and with our flights already booked, that was something we could absolutely not afford. But after some asking around, these 2 guys pointed us to a location that might help.
So the guys kind of led us to this dead end to a lake. Not sure if we have to take a boat across or what's up, but
We're gonna ask the locals now, or try asking them how we're gonna make this journey. And that's exactly what we did. Thankfully, these guys had Wi-Fi at those little huts. I know, crazy, right? Anyway, the first woman we talked to wasn't really a help. She tried to scam us and then just left in the middle of the conversation. I guess the conversation ended here, and we're gonna pick it ourselves.
I guess that's a no. They just kind of left us. They're on the water. They just left us.
So after she left us, we finally met some people who were able to point us in the right direction, and we finally had a solution. Okay. So, situation. We have to take a boat. There's no other way for us to cross the coast road, basically, which kind of sucks. But on the other hand, we get to drive a boat. Problem though is they want 2.5 mil from us, which is like, I'm not sure. They have 2 million or 2 million, which is, I don't know, I think it's like $80 or something, which we have to get now. So we have to drive 10 kilometers back to the next village town. They have apparently an ATM where we can get some cash.
What are the odds those ATMs take your visa?
We just hope that we're gonna get the cash, because if not, that means we have to go all the way back to the CIA base, and that would suck. So, fingers crossed. Alright, we finally had a clear goal and a solution to continue our journey. So we started to make our way back to the town. We had a few road stops, but nothing major happened, thankfully. We did struggle for a hot second though, getting the cash out of the ATM.
Oh
my god, bro.
no way!
Fuck, bro, so all the cards didn't work basically, but my business card is, thank god, a fucking MasterCard, so we're able to get just enough out of the ATM. Just enough, bro. It's 95 euros, by the way, for taking the boat. 95. With the cash in hand, the last thing we had to do was make it back to the boat in time before they leave us. Because if that would have happened, we probably would have been stranded that day. Fucking made it on a boat, dude. We have no idea how long this boat ride takes, but at least we made it, and we can chill, and I guess the only thing we have left to do is enjoy the view. So, here we are, on a boat to Vang Vieng. A town of comfortable guest houses, familiar food and Wi-Fi that actually works. It's the perfect bookend, the modern, easy contrast to everything we just went through. Because this trip was never about finding the perfect destination. It was about losing the perfect plan. We chased a line on a map that disappeared into a dirt path. We traded schedules for sunsets and deadlines for dead ends. We got lost, we got turned around, and we got schooled by a land that doesn't care about our itineraries. And in that chaos, that's where we found it. That spark that my work had buried. That clarity that comes only when you're too focused on the next bump in the road because you have no time to think about anything else. The raw, unfiltered feeling of being alive, solving problems with a good friend, and just figuring it out. So here's my challenge to you, from this not-so-quiet boat at the end of a wide road. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Your adventure isn't on a curated travel blog. It's down the road you didn't mean to take. It's in the confusion, the wrong turns, the moment you have to ask for help in a language you don't even speak. Get lost on purpose. Embrace the challenge not as an obstacle, but as the entire point. Sell the stuff, quit the thing, book the ticket, say yes to the stupid idea with your friend. The map is a suggestion, your comfort zone is a cage, and the most beautiful views are almost always at the end of the worst roads. So go, get out there and get gloriously, unforgettably lost. Thank you, Laos. You have been truly amazing.